The other thing that Kevin Stefanski talked about, first time in his career, he's going to have a quote-unquote elite quarterback skill set. With that comes some freedom that Kevin Stefanski plans on giving Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think with all that, I think comfort in the system, that certainly comes. And the quarterback, as we say this all the time, has the trump card because he's got the best view of it from where he is. So there were times last year where Deshaun made great adjustments to what we're doing, and he always has that ability. I think as he becomes more comfortable in our system, he'll know when and where to do that more often. A lot of times when you're playing no huddle, that comes up more often than not. When you're at the line of scrimmage, you're making those decisions. So he did it some last year. I think that will only grow the more reps he gets in our system.
And with that, let's welcome in Jeff Lloyd from the Locked On Browns podcast. Jeff, I think that last part, familiarity with the system and making plays off schedule are two of the strengths Deshaun Watson brings that we didn't get to see a whole lot last year.
No, last year, obviously, just getting his feet wet after, a year and a half long layoff, and to do it in a new system, to do it with new personnel, to do it with the new coaching staff. And the other thing, and I think a lot of people did not take into account, coming in when the record was 4-7 and coming in that situation where it almost felt like, I have to be a savior here. I have to find a way to come in, even though I haven't played football in almost 2 calendar years, and win 6 straight games for this franchise to hopefully get into the playoffs. I do think one thing the other coach Stefanski said that really should be taken to heart is, look, coaches can watch everything from a top. They can watch everything from the sidelines, but they just don't get a feel of, maybe how the game is actually flowing on any given day. We're going to do this because we think, they think maybe the middle linebacker is not paying as much attention as they do. Meanwhile, Deshaun could say, I could 100% disagree with you. I think, you may think he's lagging. I may think he's trying to bait me into a throw or two. That's why you just have to have this communication. And that's why you have to look at a player like Deshaun and, understanding how special he is and then understanding the investment you have into him to not say, hey, we want your input here. We want you to sit down with us. Look, if X, Y, and Z is no good, we'll just lose X, Y, and Z. And we'll look for a new, A, B, and C to add in there in its place. Communication. And as far as, trying to, communicate what you want and what's going to work best for the coaching staff, what's going to work best for the player with the personnel involved, there's so much that goes into it. There's so much detail. Everybody thinks here's a playbook, players just go out and make plays. But if your playbook is not catered, maybe not catered necessarily, but it's not built with your best attributes of your individual players and trying to accent those, you end up with, a lot of disarray. And I think that was maybe some of the things that probably went on, during the Baker Mayfield time that he was with Coach Stefanski. And I think part of that was probably on Baker because he couldn't necessarily communicate what he felt would work best.